Do you think the public cares whether the music they consume comes from AI or real humans? Should they care?
Anybody?
I can hop on it. I think some people care. I think the average consumer, probably not. I think the quality that is coming out from AI right now can be kind of hard to distinguish whether or not it's a human or not to the average ear. I mean, and right now we see AI artists charting, so
I know.
I think that would be indicative that they don't care, or that they're at least intrigued in trying to figure it out.
Well, I mean, then that goes to the question of the charting. Who's doing the chart? You know what I'm saying? There's rumors about artists paying for charts, paying for streams and all that. So can we trust that? You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely not, especially when a lot of record labels and companies now are controlled by tech companies. BMI was just consumed by a tech company. So if you're in BMI Publishing, you might need to reconsider it because it's going to be for profit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of publishing companies are not profit.
Right.
So you'll be able to see the difference on how they treat you and treat the artist. I think the average consumer, like you said, I think that they don't care because they don't know. A majority of consumers, not artists or producers, but I think a majority of consumers, they can't tell the difference. So if it's fire, it's fire.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think there's when we go to like, is it allowed, or do we think it should be allowed? I think that's ultimately up to the consumers as well. I mean, I don't like certain music that real people make right now, and I'm like, this should not be allowed. You know what I'm saying? But they seem to be doing pretty well. So I think much like a long age-old debate in hip-hop, I think you just got to categorize it. You got to put it in its own genre, and I do foresee maybe even a future where there's a AI radio station as opposed to a hip hop station or a pop station where it can live in its own world, and the people that want to consume that can consume.
Well, what
that.
about even
it
like
did
the
at
charts?
one point.
Okay.
Like the whole meta universe. It did like there were AI artists.
Okay.
It did live in a space at one time by itself, kind of, because there were AI artists coming out before then. But that was just in the metaverse. Yeah, you remember when NFTs and stuff were coming out.
Was that little pump-looking artist?
Yeah, it was a little pump. Right.
Yeah.
So it did kind of exist in its own universe. The problem is the crossover. I see that, like for instance, like you said about it being allowed. I like the fact of you can categorize it, put it in its own genre. That would be dope. But like publishing companies, for instance, there's this new pub company called So Stereo. They do sync and stuff like that. They're allowing AI music, but it has to be 80% human.
Why not 100? What's 80%?
But that's because you have to think about it like this. AI's not going anywhere. And when DJs were carrying crates and big, the turntables was this big.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Analog,
and now the turntables can be this big. I got a hard drive. I can literally DJ from my phone
Or Spotify.
Yeah. It's, straight from SoundCloud.
YouTube.
And now even Apple Music has a update where it mixes the songs for you into the correct BPM and everything.
Yeah.
So
It's insane.
AI isn't going anywhere. It's really about how you're utilizing it and how much human are you putting into it. And I think that's very important.
I think that's the main key is how you're utilizing it. I think it's a tool. For me, I've been an advocate for people getting into AI because of what you exactly said. Is it's not going anywhere. I mean, we could talk about people using it, but like let's look at it on a larger scale, right? Trillions of dollars across the world, not just America, not just the music industry, are being put into the infrastructure of AI.
It's insane.
They've made it clear that this is what the investment is and this is what the future is. And we've seen some real benefits to AI. I use AI every day. I use ChatGPT every single day to organize presentations, proposals, organize my own thoughts in ways to speed up the work process. But I've never once used AI to write a song, or write lyrics because.
But that's coming though.
Oh no, it's not. It's
here.
No,
It's here.
I
do you
meant
mean?
as far as artists are probably using that to blow themselves up.
Oh, they're doing it right
you know,
now.
we have
They're doing it
ghostwriters,
right
right?
now.
I
Like
think
how
it's
we have
an integrity
ghostwriters
thing.
and people
Yeah.
don't, they got the credits for ghostwriters, or they may lie about having a ghostwriter. They'll use AI and say, "Nah, this is mine." You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying, and put
100%.
that out.
Yeah.
As far as the people, back to the people, right?
Yeah.
Should there be, not necessarily education, but should the consumers of music, should they feel a type of way of, what they're listening to? Like if it's an AI artist versus a human artist, should the artist, the real human artist, kind of make them care, so to speak? Like, hey, this is not a person. This is not a human creation. You know what I'm saying? You put money behind it, you're going to get more of this, and you're going to get a lot of, industry pushed out stuff, without real people.
So I'm gonna push back on both of y'all real quick because I'm in the middle of this, right? I'm kind of for it, against it, and it's all about the application of it, right? It's what I feel is a valid use of it, right? So, do you play instruments? And you play like actual piano? Okay, but do you play guitar?
No.
Okay. Have you used a guitar digital sound in your production?
I know where he's going.
Exactly. That's a version of AI, right? And that, and I have too. I'm not, picking on her. I mean, I don't know how to play keys. I've used keys. I've used saxophones. I've used all types of stuff, right? We've used samples for years, right? All of these things have taken a job away from somebody who could pluck the guitar, who could sing that sample, who could auto-tune. We could go get a real singer that doesn't need auto-tune. Right. So I think that sometimes we get caught up in like when it affects us. Because for years people were saying, stop using auto-tune. I can actually sing. Right. And now if you go, everybody uses auto-tune.
It's
right?
normalized.
It's normalized.
It's common.
We've used digital sounds where so many, we were calling them old, like, hey, you don't know nothing about Fruity Loops, you don't know nothing about this, where they're like, hey, you just took my job away from me. I used to pluck guitar for hours and just build riffs in the studio. Yeah, exactly. And you still got that, right? I mean, and don't get wrong, even when I produce, or I'm more of an executive producer, but like when we're in the studio, a lot of times I'll start with the digital sound, and then I'll also take that same beat to the studio and hire musicians, because there is something that you cannot replace about the vibrations and the texture of like a human actual piano or actual guitar or actual saxophone. And it also is my creativity versus somebody who actually plays that instrument and really understands it on a molecular level. Right.
And like when it comes to how they talk back in the day where you had to go to a physical studio and they had all this expensive equipment, and then we took that, put it in a DAW, workstation now, like Fruity Loops, you said, and the lower the bar and more access for more people to use, right? And so like AI now, you could take someone who has no musical gifts, can't play anything, can't read music, type of prompt, and then get a song. You know what I'm saying? So it lowers the bar.
I think that's the issue. Like you said with application, I think that if you're not a musician, then don't try to become one. I feel like if you are a musician, learn how to apply it to you without cheating. Like
that's
for
fair.
instance,
that's fair.
There are like plugins and stuff called like Splice or Arcade, and they come with preset loops that you can alter. You don't want to take a loop from there and it sound exactly from everything else. So you want to make things independent. And I think that with AI, it's all going to have a certain type of stamp, certain type of sound. It's like when things became digital musically, you could tell the difference between analog and digital.
Yeah, I mean, you still can.
Electronic
and you still can. And so it's going to be the same way. I mean, well, when most musicians will be able to audibly hear the difference between.
I think people will too, the more they hear it too.
But that's what, and I think that, it comes with exposure. But like I said, I feel like, for instance, the charting AI artist right now is an R&B singer.
Zanaya Monet.
I
think that's her name. Yeah.
She's K Michelle. She's K Michelle from 2005 when we were in high school, pretty much. And she took the tonality, the silkiness of her voice, the depth of her songwriting is basically the same exact It's what we missed in K. Michelle.
Yeah.
K. Michelle crossed over the country, so she was like, it's a void there. I can take it and fill the void.
Yeah.
What I do appreciate is that it was a black woman that decided to educate herself in AI in order to do. I can appreciate that in order to
That's
create
different.
I can appreciate that. But what I don't appreciate is her just typing in this prompt of, oh, I need the production to sound like this too, instead of doing it herself.
Right.
I like the idea of creating the production, creating the song. Then, okay, boom. They're on Arcade, they have a thing called Crow Producer. You can put it on your master. You can play it through and play your song through it. And then if you can say, hey, I want some horns, it'll find some horns that'll help you find the sound.
Same key. Stuff. Okay, cool.
BPM, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like you can utilize it the right way to increase your workload. I make 2 to 3, so I complete 2 to 3 songs a day, and that was before I was capable of utilizing Arcade or Splice. I was doing that regardless.
Right.
But now that I can, I'm doing 40 songs in a month. You know what I'm saying?
That's some dope output.
So the output is there, but I'm still putting me in it.
Right, and I can respect that. As far as like the artist concerned, I can respect a musician that knows music, that's been about music, using it as a tool, as opposed to somebody coming from nowhere, don't know nothing, and just like, I'm just become a super producer. You know what I'm saying? Just by typing prompts.
But it's already, it's already happening in sync.
Can I ask y'all, have y'all tried Suno yet?
No.
Okay,
No,
so I'm. This is a gift and a curse of mine. Is like, I have to try out everything. Like because I'm like,
I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna try it.
What is special about it? You know, like what is not special about it? Why is it causing so much controversy? Can it actually compete with a human? So I've used Suno and experimented with it.
This might lead into the next question.
Yeah. I see it very much like a ChatGPT, as in it's a translation tool. You can't get it just right, or at least from the work I've done. And I'm not somebody who's on it every day, all the time, you know, like other people that we've heard of. But I have dived very deep into it because I'm trying to understand what makes it special, and then two, can it actually compete with us in a sense? So what I've learned from my experience with it is there's limits, like the way that you can go in and re-record a line, you know what I'm saying, because it's just not hitting right, or you know, you slurred, or you know, whatever, right? You can't do that. Not saying that you won't eventually get to that point. It's obviously ever evolving. One of Jade's great points was there is a sound. There is a certain sound that it gives you, regardless.
That doesn't have the soul behind it. Doesn't have the energy.
And that's what I'm gonna get to. So hold that point, because
it sounds processed.
Well, yeah, it sounds like a template almost, right? But it has taught me things that I hadn't even learned prior, because I'm not an engineer like her. There is something special about engineers in particular, and the way to go in and dissect and understand where drums hit, or where the horns need to be and stuff like that, that I've actually been able to learn working through Suno and dissecting all of this stuff, and how it breaks down the beat and stuff like that. And I'm the type of person, man, I've been on Fiverr, hired people on Fiverr for references. I've been on Musiversal. I've been on, you know, I've taken somebody that I liked at a show and like, hey, let's get in the studio and write. You know, I've done everything, you know what I'm saying? Because one, I don't have any, besides writing, I don't have any technical skills. I can push record and get you a very raw reference, but I don't know how to mix. I don't know how to master.
That takes skill.
I don't know how to produce. But I'm often hired for the ability to understand what a song is, you know what I'm saying? And like how to make it come to life, and outside of just making the song too, you know, making the video, making the rollout, all of this stuff. So when I'm in Suno, one, I just want to make this, I will never get AI to write for me, because this is where I disagree with AI.
Let's go.
How you did not feel a heartbreak. I I'm writing about heartbreak. You did not feel heartbreak. You cannot understand or relate to that or take those words in and have meaning to your life. You know, when you heard
Let me stop you there.
Yeah, go ahead.
They have companies, tech companies, that are hiring people to learn human nuance. So, for instance, I forgot what the tech company's name, but they pay you to put on a GoPro and sit in music sessions with the GoPro on and just create.
Wow.
And they're not going to steal what you're creating, but they're stealing your human nuances, how you talk to someone, how you have that, just energy. Yeah. They're stealing characteristics. They're trying to put, like not consciousness, but they're trying to.
Emotion.
Yes, where it can have an adaptive feel, like it can notice, that look you're making. Like if there was a AI robot, it could respond to it. So,
but I feel like that's surface level because
absolutely,
like when you feel heartbreak, like they're not gonna feel sick for 3 days.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna look at something that might be trivial to the average person, but like after you break up, you go by a certain restaurant, you're like, I can't even eat there because that's where I went on the first date with my girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's for me. Where I've learned and I've been through my experiments with this stuff of like, wow, I can't get behind AI music and stuff like that because it has no uniqueness to it. Like if I have done this, I've sent these references to other people and I said, yo, let's remake this and let's do it in a way that's you. If I send that to Jade, I want Jade sauce on that. I don't want her to do it just like the AI did it. Right. That's not what I want. But I do want the ability to get my idea as clearly as possible, because if you hear some of the reference songs that I've recorded, they're bad. I can't sing, you know what I'm saying? But I'm out here trying to sing, and it's like that translation really may be lost in that thing. It may turn somebody off of like actually trying to work with that song, and it has, you know what I'm saying? Right. So now I have to go to Fiverr, or I have to call up Jade and say, hey, can we record this track? I'm trying to shop it to somebody, right?
Rico Love was saying that's how he utilizes Suno, is he'll do the entire song, but if he needs like a female singer, he'll change the vocalist, but that's where the 80-20 rule is. Yeah. As far as publishing and being able to register and such.
Well, also too, like say you put out let's just say you do a complete AI song, right? You prompt the lyrics, you prompt the beat, whatever. You don't own anything. Like legally, you don't own anything.
That has the AI owns, right?
Yeah. So even Zanea Monet, there's a guy who went into Suno and remade her song. And it sounded like her. The beat was just like hers. And there's nothing that she can do or the owner of, Zanea Monet can do to stop him from putting that song out. Whereas like when
not even a copyright issue?
No, you can't. You can't own copyright.
Because it's artificial intelligence. The only person that owns it is the company that helped create the actual.
But they remade a song she already had, right? That's what you're saying.
No, see that's the difference.
He made it through AI. So he remade her, and it sounds just like her, because again,
it wanted to show you, hey, you could be Zanea Monet. Yeah. You could be Zanea Monet.
And it went to show you how, again, back to what she said originally, there's a sound. There's like a certain sound that comes from AI right now. And now, again, 10 years from now, it may not be like that. They may have done the emotional connection part. They may have evolved this thing to another level where it doesn't have a distinct sound. But I can, once we get off air, I'll show you songs that I've done, and like they all, like, you can just hear it. They all sound similar, but they sound different. They're different BPMs, different keys.
All that stuff.